This conference will now be recorded.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I have. So I think when I receive the video and I will review because right now I don't have the recordings. So yeah, I think from this evening when I receive, I will review. I will review, and if I have any doubts, I will let you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So can you? I'll just share my screen.
Okay. Okay.
So you are clear with what is a static and non-static? Sorry, not static. What is a method?
Yeah.
What is a variable?
Yes. Yes.
These things you are clear, right? So that's
Yeah.
what I think we had discussed yesterday. You
Let
can able to
me.
see my
Okay.
screen, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yesterday we have discussed like there's a main method that we have seen it, right? So when you want to
Yes.
write a main method, you will be writing in this way, right? So a simple Java program. So this is nothing but your class syntax, as I told you. So you want any recap on yesterday's recall or on yesterday's, or shall we continue?
I think it's fine. We can continue. Yeah.
Okay. So please stop me at any point of time when you are not able to understand.
Okay. Okay.
So, so this is how you written a small Java program as we see that. So class some test I'm writing. So this is how you're starting your Java class, and this is nothing but my end of the class. And I can have some main method over here. And so that is nothing but as I told you that I'll be explaining what is the reason of this public static void main and string args. So whenever we discuss complete access specifiers and what is the difference between static and non-static, you get this things very clear actually, right?
Yeah.
And this is nothing but so in C how you print something in a console by using printf. So when you say printf, that you see that output in a console, right? Similarly, here you use system.out.println to see that in output screen. So if I want to write it, so as I told you, so they'll be writing. So it's not required me to repeat the same concept. You can able to see that in image itself. So I'll just try to execute in an Eclipse. So if you see, you have an idea of Eclipse, right, Mike? So this is the tool to
Yes.
will
Yes.
execute your Java programs.
Yes.
Similarly, you have different kinds of tools. Like you have IntelliJ is one of the tool where you execute
Yes.
your Java.
Idea, right? Integer
Uh,
idea.
ID is nothing but
ID.
what
Yeah.
happens, so what happens is nothing but executing your Java programs will be very flexible here.
Yeah.
So it is, for example, generally, if you don't have any idea how you write your Java program, you write that Java program in Notepad. And what I'll do, I'll save that Notepad and I'll set the path where that Notepad is there. And what I'll do, I'll be writing Java C and Java C I'll use it's for compiling, and I'll say Java and I'll run and I'll execute the program. So what
Sure.
happens is nothing but here when you do it in such way without Eclipse, without IDs, so you face some problems in while executing. For example, if you don't have any ID, what happens when you have any compile time errors? It will not show when you are doing the coding. So when it will show, once you run the program, it will show, okay, these are the compile time errors. Again, you come to the notepad and you solve that errors, and again you execute. Again, if there is some errors, again you go to the notepad. So it is like time taking process, right? So that is the reason you cannot use this in industries, and whenever you are in a real time, you cannot go with the notepad. So definitely you need an ID where it will support all your syntactical errors, the compile time errors. It's like automatically build will happen every time when you change something, the build will happen in an ID. So for example, when you write some code and how it is identifying that there is a mistake in the code is nothing but the compile. So whenever the compiling happens, so it's identified there is some mistake in the code.
Yeah. So
Right.
actually, Suya, as I know, so actually, like a long time ago, I downloaded the Eclipse and I was using Eclipse for some time, like
Okay.
because I was actually I think it's like maybe 5 years ago. Like I
Okay.
downloaded the Eclipse, the older version, and I was doing some self-learning for like a basic Java a very long time ago.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
I think I know it's free and it's a good like IDE for Java for code in Java.
Yes.
And recently, like I saw a free video online, like to introduce integer ID.
Oh, that's
So,
what I said. You have one more IntelliJ also.
oh, okay.
So
But
you
I
can,
think
you have to
integer
pay paid
is
version, paid version.
yeah. But I think integer is a pay, like you it's like it's a paid one, right? But
Yes. Paid one.
Eclipse is free to use, right?
Full pages, yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you have this 2000. I think you have downloaded this Eclipse in your system. You have this Eclipse, Mike?
Yeah, actually, I at some time I want to install Eclipse, like maybe today or like today after the session, I will check if I
Okay.
have it. Yeah, then if
So
I don't have,
what you install that. So today what you do is nothing but after completing the session, you install the JDK 1.8 version and as well as Eclipse.
okay, yeah,
So
one point.
without
I think.
without a without a JDK, don't install Eclipse because your Eclipse will not open
Okay.
without having a JDK. So first install JDK. Check whether your system is having JDK or not. So you can just
Okay.
go check it that. So if you see, I have a JDK already, Java Development Kit. So
Mm.
similarly, you can check that you have a JDK or not. So you just how to install, just go to the Chrome and just type JDK 1.8. So it will just suggest you the path to install and it will be installing in the C program files Java.
Mm.
So actually, before the Java was owned by Sun, now but it's owned by Oracle. So you can just go with and this and type JDK 1.8.
Mm. I think actually I think like 90% I already have JDK installed. I just need to check.
Okay. Okay. If
Yeah.
not, just go and see install based on your versions actually.
Okay.
So,
I, mm. J-
so what I'm telling
JDK
you,
JDK
uh,
8, right?
yeah, and I'm talking about your Windows. Like if it is 32, install 32 one. With 64, it will provide the different versions actually.
Okay. I'm on 64.
64, or if it is 64, your Windows is 64, go with that. If it is 86, go with this. If it is something, I don't know, your Windows or Linux or whatever it is, so
Mm.
you have different platforms here actually. So for Mac, you have, so based on that, I think yours is Windows, right, Mike?
Yes, I'm Windows. Yes, I'm sure, very
Ah,
sure of that. Windows 6, the last one.
okay. So this one or this one, you just download that. That's it. It's an
Okay.
.exe file. So after downloading, just extract that files. It automatically will ask you next, and you will be just going to install that. After
Okay.
it, you just
Mm.
go and similarly type Eclipse. So install the latest version of Eclipse and see that this is the latest version of your Eclipse. So
Okay.
2019 will be there. If not, so I'm asking, so don't try to, most it will not happen. Don't try to install the older versions like Mars or something. So it may
Yeah.
have some issues. So it not like issues, but when you go with some other programming, some other like when you learn some other concepts like advanced Java, it may hang sometimes. So this is the good one.
Yeah. Yeah, if I encounter any issue, I will let you know tomorrow. Yeah,
Yes. Just a minute, Mike. Give me 1 minute.
sure, no problem. Yeah. I saw you have a call. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, it's more. So try to install the latest version, and so this is how it opens, and you will be creating one of the folder. So if you have any issues with installing or this things, let me know. So
Okay.
once you install this, what you need to do is nothing but. So here you have this. There are two versions. So this is for Java, and you have for J2W also. It is for advanced Java also. And so first, I just want to create a Java project. I'll be creating so new, and I'll be going here. So you have different kinds of projects here. So first, you can create a Java project, something like. So this is my project I'm just creating. So once you create a Java project, it is going to create with so JRE library as well as your SRS. SRS JRE is nothing but when I told you right to install JDK. Inside that JDK, you will be having that JRE. So it is nothing but your supporting library. I'll tell you what is the difference between JDK, JRE. We'll have this class also. But as of now, whenever you want to run a Java program, you need some Java development kit. So for example, this JRE, what JRE will do is nothing but JRE will be giving some support files for you, where it will have some predefined classes which help you to run the programming. So we'll get more in detail of that.
Yeah.
So
I know a little bit like JRE. Basically, I think it's the Java runtime environment.
yes, runtime and JDK is
Yeah.
Java development actually.
Yes. Like for example,
So
like our developer, they are like let's say they are using like JDK, which is the development kit. Because if you
yes,
you have new feature, you need to develop JDK because you need to build the new features, right?
yes.
Yeah, just a little bit. And
Yes, yes. So whatever you are telling is right. So we'll go more detail in
yeah,
that.
yeah, sure.
So you have an SRS folder. So where what happens? You will be creating the Java files actually. So dot Java files you will be creating in your SRS. So automatically it's like a source folder. So whenever you create a project, it comes with JRE will be there in that project, which will be your Java runtime environment. So which will support running of all your classes that is inside the present new project. So inside this project, what you do, you are going to create a classes. So inside this project, I will have a packages. Inside the package, I will have a class. So package is nothing but a combination of a class. We'll have more detail how you declare a package and all, but as of now the thing came, I'm telling you. So you have, whenever you do an application, how an application will have different kinds of projects. So every project will have a package, so we'll have packages. So and every package will have a classes. You got that right, Mike?
Yes. We have package project that contains package, and in the
So
package there are some class, right? Classes.
if you see this, if you see that, I just want to take, it's like an application. So in this, you have three projects. So here you have one project, you will have different packages. So if you see in this com.dot example, you have a different package. Every package will have a different class. Right? This is the hierarchy.
Yeah.
So package is nothing but it consisting of classes. And as of now, whatever the holes that classes that you create under a source file. So if I want to give a package, I can give. Otherwise, I can just take it as a default package.
So SRC stands for resource,
Source,
right?
source, yes, source folder.
Source folder. Okay. SRC.
So say it's SRC where your all your Java classes you are going to create, all the projects, all the packages and everything. So in this SRS only you have different packages. You see that hierarchy, right? Project, in that project you have SRS source folder. In that source folder you will have different packages.
Yes, yes.
This is a source folder. In that you have different
package. Yes, different package. Yeah.
So every package will have different classes. So package is group of classes. Here, if I want to create a Java program new, and I want to create a Java class, right? So Java class. So here, if you see, you can see that package name. If I'm not giving any package name, it will take me a default package. So I'm just giving com dot first example, something like that I'm giving. So here, what I can give a class name, simple addition I'm giving. So I just want to do addition of two numbers. So this is my package. And if you want to right click check this, your main method gets generated. And remember this, okay, I have not told you inheritance for so when I generate, so your class will be created. And if you see, this class is under this package, com.first examples. This is under this package. And as I told you, public is your access specifier. Class is the way that you declare a class, and addition is the name of the class, and you have the main method, right? And if I want to print something in a console, how I'll be writing system.out.println. So we'll discuss what is the system and what is this out and what is this also, but before that we need to understand this static and non-static, then I'll say. So if you see, the system is one of the class actually. This out is a reference variable and this println is a method, right? They are from different, so we'll discuss that in detail actually. And I'm printing something like hello. This is the first thing that you learn in every programming language. Hello.
Yeah.
You see it, right? So how you run, it's like a just run. So you can do debug as well as run. You just want to see that every step that you do debug as well as run. So I'm just running as a Java application. So now your main method, first your compiler will call your main method and you're going to print whatever.
There is other like some button to execute the code, or we basically
Yes.
we use like
you have
here.
the,
Okay, yeah, that's true. Sorry. Yes.
you have a debug. I just executed like this, but you just click over here. Also, your code gets executed. So, for example, what program you want to execute? You have, these are the different programs. I just want to execute this addition. Just click that. It's going to execute addition one. Has executed something. Addition one. Maybe some addition one is there. I don't know why it's not there.
I think we didn't save like system out, maybe.
Okay, sorry. I removed that system out that right?
No problem.
I have not seen that. Okay. So I'm executing, but it was not running.
Yeah, sure. How did you get the system out to bring the L1? You type SOOP or what?
Yes, it's a shortcut actually. So if you want, you can type everything SOS, and if you press Control Shift, what happens? It will give the suggestions.
Control Shift.
Control space.
Oh, sorry. Control space. Okay, I see.
Okay, shortcuts. So it will come entire the code. You learn the small things when you start coding. You learn the small things.
Yeah.
So you're getting it. Sorry, I just removed that, right? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
So here, so when you want to do an addition, what you need, how you do an addition? If you tell me the code, I'll just write that, Mike.
What I need to do here. What do you mean, Suya? to write something?
If you tell me the code, I'll be writing it. A simple addition I just want to do. So whenever I want to do an addition, what I need to take? I need to take a method, right?
Yeah, you need to take a method. Take a method. But what kind of method you want? I mean,
So if I don't want any return type, what method I'll take? I'll take as a void method with the return type int. Sorry, zero void, right? So if I take a return type as void, so there will be no return type. So void
yeah.
add method. So
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm starting my method, I'm closing my method, and I'm just taking the variables in A and in B comma in C. So these are the variables that I have taken. So if I want to just add, I'm just adding A plus B. And this is nothing but your non-static method. We'll see what is non-static method. But as of now, you remember this is a non-static method. So call the method in Java. What I'll do is nothing but I need to create an object and I'll call it. So as I told you, what is the syntax of an object, right? Can you tell me in the mic the syntax that?
Yeah. The syntax or for the object is addition equals
Addition, and what is that? Addition is nothing but my class name, and I'll have a reference variable.
Yeah. Okay.
Something like
Addition
and a new keyword
and addition.
Addition. This is a constructor.
Yeah.
So this is nothing but my syntax.
Yeah.
So
addition AD. Okay. Yeah. That's AD is the object name. That's true.
Name,
equals to new, and then
reference
is the class and brackets, right?
New is the keyword and constructor.
Okay. Constructor. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So this is nothing but I'll be writing it in this way, right? So this is nothing but so,
yeah.
you want to ask something?
What is the constructor?
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. We will see. Okay. Yeah.
So this is it will look like a method. If you see, this is similar to a method. If you see, but the method name is different. So your constructor will have the same name as a class name. What is your class name? Addition. So my constructor should be also like addition.
It must be same name as the class right?
Name, and the syntax will be like with method syntax, like you have the brackets like this.
Okay. I see. So it must be same as the class name.
It must be same as a class name, and we'll see the constructors topics, and then you'll understand what is the use of a constructor.
Okay.
Right. AD dot, I'll call. So if you see AD dot, what AD is showing, it is showing this A, B, C, and add method. So it means your AD is having all these methods. You may get doubt why it is showing other methods also. So these are nothing but the methods from an object class. So why it is showing, when we discuss inheritance, you will get that. So if you see, this A is from addition, this A is from, so you have other things that are from object class. So we'll see what is an object, and that when you understand, when we tell inheritance, you get to know what is this again. When you see Java, it will be always, when I start, it will be like suspense only. Why this construct is a suspense, why all these methods are showing are nothing but by say add, what is this object and what are this are showing, this is also a suspense. So we'll get to know all the suspense when we go further. Is it okay, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm just calling, this is nothing but my calling. So if you want to write something as a comment, you'll just writing with double quotes, a single line comment. And if you want to write a comment for a block of quotes, you just do with the star. Actually, this is the comment also. And calling the add method. So this, once you do, your add method gets called and it will start executing it. So we have seen that syntax, how the method calling will happen. Same. if you have a main method and you have some other function, it's like an add method. So from main method, you are calling some function. What happens? It will come to this function. It will start executing this function. So after completing the execution, so your function got executed. Your method has been completed its execution here. So after that, it will go to the place from where it is called. It was called again from the main method. So it will go again to the main method. So there is nothing and it will come out. The same thing happens over here. And if you want to print that C value, what I'll write system.out.println, that's C value. So can you, if I run this program, can you tell me what is the output, Mike?
Can you give me 1 second? I just to review it. Okay. So okay, could you please go to the top? Go down, please. Yeah, sorry. Go down to the bottom. I think it will. The final output for this line code should be 0. C should be 0.
Yes. Why? Because
because because we didn't assign any value to A, B, C, and in that case, initially A and B should be 0, and C because C equals 0 plus plus 0, so the final result should be 0. If
yes.
I'm right.
Yes, you are right. Not
okay.
If you are right. So if you are the right.
Okay.
What is right? So you are. If I have not declared any values, as I told you earlier, so it will be taking it as 0.
Yes, because the data type is integer.
Yes. So if I take that as some values, then it will, now if I run that, it's going to print me that some value 10. A simple program. So this is a simple Java program. This is a flow that will be there. If you write like a big application, like thousands or line, whatever the lines of code, this is a simple flow that you will be there. You call some method, it will execute, it will come to the method where it is called.
Yeah. I just have one question. Like because I don't remember. So because we like in this small program, we do have the public static void, right? The main method, I think the public one. This one is the main method, right?
Yes.
So let's say the void add this method, this like custom method should be before the main method, right? It should be outside because I don't remember that.
What you're saying? This method should be main method should be?
No. I mean the void add bracket that method.
Void add bracket.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one should be outside of the public method, right? Because the public one method is the main one. Because so it should be outside, right? I think I don't remember.
Outside means you are saying that you should it should not. It's like this. Like it should not be like this.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
This is.
Yes, actually, there is no concept inside a method. You cannot write a method actually.
So you mean both are okay?
Sorry.
So your point is both are fine. It doesn't matter. The void add. Let's say in our case, void add method can be outside or it can be inside. That's
no. I'm telling you, your method cannot be inside actually.
Oh, cannot be. Okay. So
yes, it cannot be inside. So your add method is unique. Your main method is unique. So what is main method is something. It's like a method, right? It will do some function. So what is the functionality of your main method? It is the function. What is the responsibility of your main method? Your main method is responsible to be acts like a master, will be executing the remaining methods, right? That is the responsibility of your main method. You can write some code, but generally they have given a main method to make that as a master where first it will be called and all the remaining functions or the methods starts executing from your main method, right? So that is a functionality of your main method. So main has also it functions. It has its own requirement. so your add, what is the function of add method? To perform the add logic, so it will do that.
I see.
So,
So in this case, the main like a master to calling from the add method in our case.
yes. So your master is calling your add method. So for example, you have some other method. So then what it will do, it will be calling even that some other method also.
I see. Yeah, I agree.
And we'll just do a calculator application, a simple calculator one. Then you can able to understand it. So I just want to take. So here, if you see, this are nothing but your instance variables. You remember this words, Mike? What is an instance non-static? We'll discuss that.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I told you, right, these variables are declared top of the class, so that you call it as instance variable. So for example, if I declare a variable here, so what is this? This will be your
It's a it's a I don't know. It's the same thing. Should be no.
This is a local variable. This a is
local.
different.
Oh, local. Yeah. That's true. Local. Yeah. The first integer, first int a is a global variable.
It's like global. You are calling it in C, but here you call it as instance or non-static variable, right? And this is nothing but your you show there is some error, right? You can see that error. The local variable may not be initialized. What is that? So for example, I have initialized this instance variable. What is the meaning of initialization? Or nothing but your assignment. Initialization is equal to your assignment. So whether I have given any assignment or initialization for this A.
Yeah, so I think you don't in this case you didn't initialize a.
Yes. So what I done only declaration.
Yeah, you
But
only
I don't get any
declare
error.
you only declare the data type.
If I write it 0, then that is nothing but initialization as well as declaration.
Yes.
Right? But I have declared here. I have not done initialization assignment. But if you see for the local variable, even I have declared here, and if I don't do the assignment, it will show me an error. For a local variable, you definitely need to do initialization.
Okay.
So the local variable may not be initialized. So for the local variable, you need to do the initialization for sure. But in case of instance variable, the initialization is not mandatory, because this local variable cannot be initialized from somewhere. But this instance variable can be initialized from anywhere. You got my point, Mike?
I got your point.
For example, I have declared this local variable here. I have some other method. I cannot some other void or sub method or something is there. I cannot able to initialize that. I cannot able to assign the value for that local variable. So it will consider it as the instance actually. So for example, I consider it as D. So I cannot able to give that initialization from another method, because what I told you, the scope of that will be inside this only.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
Sorry.
From my point of view, is like if we don't do that, if we don't initialize the local variable, it's like a bad practice, and it like confuse the program, something like that.
Not like a bad practice. Your program will not allow you to. It's a compile time error.
I see.
So you don't have a choice of not doing initialization for local variable.
Yeah, that's true.
You just initialize. So when you do initialization, when you do declaration, it will not show error. But assume that if I am trying to use that variable, so I have declared int d. If you see int d, there is no error. It was there. So, but I am trying to use that. So, for example, I am trying to add that d. then it will show error. You can see that error, right? Is it my screen visible, right?
Yes, yes.
So if you see here, I've declared it. So int d I have declared. So what is this d? This is the local variable because I declared that inside a method. So whether it has been showing me any error? No, this is warning. But the warning is nothing but your local variable d is not used. But without doing the initialization or assignment of your local variable, if you are trying to use that local variable, it will show me an error. See, I'm trying to use now, then it will show my error that local variable may not be initialized, and I need
Yes,
to
yes.
initialize. So
Yeah.
why you need to initialize the local variable? Because you cannot do that initialization from any other method, right? Because the scope is within the local, within the method only. So for example, I cannot do that initialization of d from here. It will say the d is not a variable. But you can do that initialization or assignment of an instance variable from any method. That's the reason initialization of your instance variable is not mandatory when you declared it, but initialization or assignment of your local variable is mandatory when you declare it. Are you clear, Mike?
Yeah, yes, yes.
I said you right. There are types of variables that we discussed. So before, so generally, there are three types of variables that we have: local variables, static variables, and instance variables. So you know what is you understood what is a variable. You have no confusion in that, right, Mike? What is a variable?
Just yeah, one. I think I'm clear with the local variable, and instance. You told me instance is the global variable, right?
Yes, I will see that. We'll make
Oh,
the
we will
clarity
see.
on
Oh,
that.
okay, okay,
But
okay. Yeah.
so that's what I'm going to discuss. That what is instance, what is static. Only I'm going to discuss. But
Okay,
I'm
okay.
asking you whether you're clear with what is a variable. What is a variable? You are clear, right?
Yes,
In
yes, I'm
case
clear. Yeah,
that.
it can. The value can be
So,
changed. That's
so
what
what is a local variable? A variable that is declared inside a method, and the scope of that will be inside a method. So it means you cannot use that outside a method. So when the variable will be created, when the method gets called, when the variable will be destroyed, when the method execution gets completed. So for example, when you declared a variable, so that should have some memory in computer, right? In system or a computer, right? So that when it will be created, when you call the method. So if it is a local variable, so assume that if this is my local variable int d, right? So when I'm calling my add method, the memory for d will be created. So after completing your execution of add method, the memory will be deallocated. But for this a, b, c, it is not like that because they are not your local variables, they are instance variables. So then when the memory for this instance variable is created, when the memory will be destroyed, and how it happens. So what is this static variable and what is this non-static variable? So first we'll see about a static variable. So static can be applied to a variable as well as to a method. So if I write int a static, I'm writing this above my class argument. So this is my static variable. And for a non-static or instance, if I call non-static or instance, everything is same. How you declare that? If you write a variable and if you don't have any keyword, any static keyword, that is your instance variable. So if you see, what is your A? Instance variable, B instance variable, C instance variable, or object level variable. Instance, if I'm telling about instance, I'm talking about object. If I'm telling about static, I'm talking about a class. If I write it as a static here, then this is my static. So this is how you declare a static variable and an instance variable.
So in this case, even even a D is a non-static variable, right? Even a D, the local variable, is a non-static.
So local, you cannot tell it as a static or non-static. It is a local. So there is, you cannot tell local as a static, non-static. Local is different, static is different. Instance.
Okay.
So because the scope, what I said, you right. So what is the scope of your local variable? When the local variable will be created, when you method is get called, and when the memory will be allocated when the method is called. When the method when the local memory will be removed for the local variable memory. So when the method execution completed. But for instance variable, it is not like that. Your instance is different, local is different. In local variable, you don't have instance. We don't have any static keyword. It means it does not become that instance variable. So there is a difference between instance and your local.
Okay,
If
so
a method, if a variable that I declared outside a method and inside a class without a static keyword, then is it that is an instance. If you see, you understood my point. A variable that I declared inside the class, outside the method, without a static keyword, then that variable will be my instance variable.
yes, I got a point. And like the D is a local variable, and
Yes.
for, let's say in this case, the A, B, C are instance variable, right?
Yes, instance variable.
And they are A, B, C are also non-static variable, right?
A, B, C are yes, non-static variable. So I can call.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got your point. And but I mean, so what's the difference between static variable and a non-static?
I have not completed it. I am just.
Okay, sure.
So we are just going that. So
yeah, but I think now I can distinguish those concept.
Yes. And if you see here for a static variable, it belongs to class level. To class level. It means when I say it belongs to the class level, so in case of non-static, it belongs to object level. For a local variable, when memory committed, when the method is called. Local variable, when memory is destroyed, when the method is executed. Similarly, for a static variable, when the memory gets allocated, when your class, as I said you right, when I am talking about a static, it belongs to a class level. So for that, when the memory will be allocated will be when your class gets loading. So what is the meaning of class loading? Is nothing but so when you are running so we'll have separate more discussion on that. As of now, what is the class loading is, so whenever you run your program, your compiler has to call your main method, right? So whenever it is calling the main method, so in your application you have you will not have only one class, you will have lot of classes, right? So which main method it has to call, or which application it has to call? It has to call for which the class has been loaded. So for before, so if compiler is calling this main method, means your class loading should happen first. So first your class loading should happen, and after class loading happens, your main method call, and then you are creating the object. This is point of time you are creating an object. So your class loading is happening. That's the reason your main method is calling it. So at the time of your class loading, your memory for the static variables will be created. So if you see, I am declaring something like E. So I just want to make this as a static. All right, I'll write it as static. So this is nothing but, if you see, ABC are non-statics and your E is a static variable. And when this memory gets created at the time of class loading. So, but for was it non-static means it belongs to the object level. So when the memory gets created, whenever you create the object, So whenever I create an object, so what happens? The memory for this non-static variables will be created. So this is the place at the 20th line. This is the place I'm creating an object, right? So this, if I'm creating an object, it will take all the non-static members and it will create a memory. I think I told you yesterday. So this
You
is a
mean
point.
sorry, you mean class loading, right? LOAD loading, class loading. That's what you said. Loading, huh?
Yes, class loading time. So if what I tell, your static variable belongs to the class level. So when the memory for the static variable will come at the time of class loading. So first the class loading happens, then only your main method called, and inside that you are creating an object. So first initially the class loading happens starting, because the class loading happened. That's the reason your JVM able to call your main method. So JVM is calling your main method because the class loading is happened.
So basically, the static
Then,
static
then, then,
variable.
then the static memory will be created. So we'll
Yes.
see when the memory get destroyed is nothing but whenever your JVM removes that class.
So basically, static variable is first loaded, and after that is the
Yes,
non-static, right?
non-static. Yes. So first the memory for the static will be allotted.
Because when program is running, Java program running, it first do the class loading, then is for the individual object to
Yes.
load,
Yes.
and then when it reach to the object, we have the non-static variable loading, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, you are right, Mike. So when you create this object, what this object will take, it is going to take all the non-static members. What are the non-static members that is having? A, it will take that initial value as 0, and it will take the B, that is 0, and C, that is 0. See that these are all the non-static. So this at the time of creating your object. So I'm creating my object, addition object somewhere.
When creating the object,
Yes.
those
So when you create
non-static variable get
non-static memory will be getting.
oh yes, non-static memory will be assigned to these non-static variables.
Yes, yes. And your add method is also a non-static. If you see, your add method is also a non-static. So you have a non-static variable as well as a non-static method. Similarly, a static variable and a static method. How you tell that is a static variable? If you have a static keyword. How you tell that is a static method? If you have a static keyword before the method. So if I say static sum m1, there is no return type, that will be the so static void m1. So your m1 is a static method. Your add is a non-static method. C is a non-static method. E is a static method. So member, I can say member means it is method as well as variable. Both I can tell it as member. So memory for all these non-static members gets created at the time of class load. Sorry, at the time of object creation. For all, when the memory for all the static members gets created at the time of class loading. So static means member means both variable as well as a method. How you declare is same. So if you write a static before a variable, that becomes a static variable. If you write a static before a method, that becomes a static method.
Static is the class level.
Yes, static is at a class level, non-static is at an object level.
Object level, okay.
You want to share this program? No need, right? Or you want me to share?
What do you mean share, Suya?
Can I send this program, a simple program, or you want me to send the simple program? This one.
Yeah, you can actually please send to me if possible. I will do some, because I will do some practice, and then I can, like, if it's not working, I can watch this and take
so
as a reference. Yeah, but first I will do from my side first.
Okay, here I have written all that. What is a static, what is a non-static, right? So I just that we just
yeah, and actually please also could you please also send me the note, like you typed?
I'll do that. So I have not completed the typing, so I'll just do that.
Sure, no problem. And just please email send to my email address.
Okay. What I can do, otherwise I can
or you
just
want
put it in the chat box right now, so you can take that.
Or you put the chat. Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay. We have
will,
5 minutes to go.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think we have 5 minutes to go, right? We have still 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can you can put it into the chat, or if you want. Yeah, sure.
I'll do that. Give 1 minute, give me.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So the charging is getting on. So how you call your non-static member is just by reference variable, reference variable dot that add. So this is how I'm calling my non-static member. So if I want to call my static member, this means static method, I'll be using the class name. Side static method. I'm just writing here if I want to write inside a non-static method. So you have two methods here. Your add is a what method? Your non-static method here. And your M1 is which method?
Static. So now
Static.
M1 is yes, M1 is static.
So how I'm calling my non-static method? I need to call my non-static method by using the reference, object reference. I said you right. I'm talking about non-static. It belongs to an object. So I need to create an object with that object reference only. I can able to call my non-static method. So if I want to call a static method, I said it belongs to a class level, right? I can able to call with the class name. Right? This is nothing but calling your static method, calling the non-static odd method. If I say non-static, it will be even instance method also. So if you want to assign a value to a non-static variable, how I'll do? Ad dot sum a equals to 5. If you want to assign a value to a static variable, addition dot e. So
M.
No, I removed that static variable e. I think so.
Oh, okay.
There is no static variable here. Static. Addition dot e equals to So if you see how I am assigning a value to a non-static variable, reference variable dot file, and how I am assigning a value to a static member, a class name, how I am calling the same thing. And the thing that you need to remember here is you cannot call the non-static member with the static in a static way. It means I cannot call the non-static variable, or I cannot assign a value to a non-static variable, or I cannot call a non-static method by using a class name. If I am trying to write addition dot m1, what is this m1? A non-static method. It will show me an error. So not m1, addition dot add method. Add is a non-static method, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to call addition dot add method, it will show me an error because you can see that
right away.
you cannot make the static to the non-static method of type addition. You cannot call the non-static method by in a static way. It means I cannot call in a with a class name. So this is nothing but my compile time error. Non-static member by class name, but vice versa you can do. It means I can call the static member by object reference, but it will show me a warning. It is not the suggestion. It will not be the suggestion. So if you see, it will be show the warning that it should be called in a static way only. No error, but warning.
So it's not. That means it's not a good practice.
It's not a good practice. You can able to do, but it is not a good practice. Here, it is not like a good practice. You are not allowed to do. Compiler will just show you an error. You're not able to compile the code itself. Why that all is coming? Because of this. Cannot make a static reference to a non-static add method of type addition. You can see that errors. So whenever you come that error, so even by reading that errors also you will be learning. So can we park here, Mike? Can we stop here or continue?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. We will continue tomorrow. Just one thing before we wrap up today, Suya. I mean, when when like our session going on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm, I'm very interested in anything related to the performance in the program. So
okay.
If there is anything about the performance part,
okay.
Could you please let me know? Yeah.
Yes, for sure, Mike. Even I'll be very interested to deal that. So for you, I'll also get some searching on that because I have not much to say. I have not much, but for sure, I'll do some analysis. So, for example, when you have a logic, so what is the best way to write that logic which will reduce your performance? So that is the main thing that everyone needs it. So writing the program, everyone can do it, right? So, but doing it in the best way is a good choice, right?
Yeah.
So that
actually, how to say that, Suya? From my point of view, even actually I don't mind write the developer write in like a simple way or a bad way, but for me the main focus is the performance, because my purpose for this is not for coding in future. Is because I want to, because what I am more interested in is if there is something like bad for the performance, is because that will be my job in future, to find to search something which is not good. Yeah. So
okay.
So but anyway, just if there but I think we should go for a good practice. But if it's not, I mean, my point is, if it's not it's something, let's say we in our session something you found is related, it will impact the performance.
Yes.
Yeah, please just please remind me, and I will take a
Yes.
note. Yeah,
Yes, yes. Even I'll do
because,
that. Even you can even do from your end also. I'll be very happy if you come with some doubts or some mistakes. For example, if I write something and if you found okay, this is how it causes some performance, and even you can able to point out. And if you even do that, it's like a learning from both of us. So I'll try to do the best, and you also try to learn the best and do the best. Will at the end of we should be able to do everything very well.
Okay.
So,
okay, sure. Okay.
And I have sent this code actually. So just go through this and understand what is a static, what is a non-static, how we are calling it, and all this. If you have any queries, go to this again. I think I'll ask Anita to share this by today. So then you can even go this recording again. If any doubts, we can catch up it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Have you taken this chat? Actually, I think it's not. Say it will not be the virtual. I think so. I think if I end the session, this may go. So please copy from there.
I
Chat.
already saved. It's okay.
You have
we can.
you have already saved this.
I already saved. Yes, thank you.
Okay, fine. And I'm just leaving the session. I'm stopping there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you,
a good one. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Fine. Thank you.
Bye.